Why can't we have everything we want? Why do we always have to choose between this or that? I mean, wouldn't life be easier if money wasn't a problem and we could just buy everything we like? Well, life's all about making choices. Every day we're faced with decisions, what to spend on, what to save for, what to prioritize, and those choices, they're not always easy. We can't have everything we want, so we have to figure out what's worth the sacrifice, and that's where economics comes in. Honestly, I thought economics was just about rich people, stock markets, and numbers that normal people like me would never use, all that stuff that makes you want to fall asleep in class. I actually expected this subject to be all about memorizing endless terms and solving problems that seemed totally useless to me. I mean, who really needs to know about supply curves or marginal utility, right? But Sir Zeke told us that this subject is not for memorizing. You should know how to analyze. You must understand how it works. And I was like, okay, it makes sense, and I agree. Why bother memorizing if I don't even get why I'm memorizing it? Why memorize endless definitions when we could be figuring out why things happen the way they do? Why do we make the choices we do? Why we can't always get what we want? Scarcity. That's the villain here. That's why we can't have new shoes, the latest phone, and unlimited milk tea all at once. Life forces us to choose, and economics explains why. But then I thought, why do people pick one thing over another? That's where consumer behavior comes in. And honestly, I saw myself right there. We all do. Like, why do we go crazy during sales, or why do we always stick to our favorite brands even when there are cheaper options? Yup, that's economics at work. And just when I thought I had it figured out, we learned about utility, economic word for happiness. Like, every time I choose between fries or ice cream, I'm not just picking food. I'm actually weighing what will make me happiest. But I usually pick both. Bad for my wallet, 10 out of 10 for my happiness. But then, reality hits with a budget line. Basically, life's way of saying, no, you can't have it all. It's that invisible line that stops me when I try to check out my entire shopping cart. It's like economics is there tapping me on my shoulder, reminding me I have limits. Then we got into demand and supply, and suddenly, everyday things started to make sense. Like, why does everyone suddenly want milk tea when there's a promo? That's demand. And then shops start making more when they see people lining up. That's supply. And when both sides finally agree, that's called market equilibrium. The rare moment when my cravings and my budget finally get along. But my favorite part? Elasticity. Because it's so real. Snacks? If the price goes up, I'll pass. But skincare products? Even if it hurts, I have to buy it. That's called inelastic. Then, we leveled up and talked about production. Now I started seeing things from the business side. In the short run, companies do small fixes. Hire more people, work overtime, add extra shifts. But in the long run, that's when they go big. Buy new equipment, open more branches, expand, and I realize it's not just for businesses. Even in my own life, there are short-run choices and long-run goals. Like saving up little by little now so I can splurge later. But of course, we cannot forget perfect competition. Let me give you an example. Those street vendors selling the same stuff, there are so many of them, all trying to grab my attention and my cash. It's like a battle for survival where no one really has the upper hand and the prices stay low because, well, everyone's competing to outdo each other. Do you think we're done yet? Nope. Before we end this video, I'd like to share some experiences and more stuff I've learned from economics because honestly, this subject hit deeper than I expected. Let's talk about opportunity cost, one of the first terms we learned, but it stuck with me the whole time. It's basically the value of what you give up every time you make a choice. Like when I stayed at home to study instead of going out with friends. Or when I choose to buy school supplies instead of that cute tote bag. At first I was like, oh, I'm just missing out. But then I realized it's not really losing something. It's prioritizing what matters most in that moment. That's what economics teaches. To think ahead, to weigh our options, and to understand that every decision has a cost. And speaking of decisions, I've also learned that we, as consumers, have power. Yup, our choices can affect markets. If we all suddenly stop buying something, demand falls and businesses feel it. Like that one time a brand got cancelled online and sales dropped fast. That's the market reacting to us. I used to think I was just one person, like whatever I buy doesn't matter, but turns out it does. That's kind of empowering, right? And of course, we can't skip elasticity. Probably one of my favorite topics. It just makes so much sense. Like for example, when a product is a basic necessity, like rice or medicine, it usually has an elastic demand. That means, even if the price goes up, people still buy it and total revenue increases. But if the product is a luxury like expensive shoes, concert tickets, or watch, that's elastic demand. When prices go up, people back off and total revenue actually goes down. So now, whenever I see price changes, I catch myself thinking, is this elastic or inelastic? Economics literally changed how I see shopping. And of course, let's not forget the idea of diminishing marginal utility, another term that sounds scary but actually makes sense. It's the reason why the slice of pizza tastes amazing. The second one is still great, but by the fourth or fifth, you're already full. The more you consume something, the less satisfaction you get from each extra unit. It's helped me understand why I don't enjoy binge buying as much as I thought I would. More isn't always better. Sometimes, enough is enough. Now, every time I shop, save, or even pick between two products, I find myself thinking about scarcity, utility, demand, and all the things I used to ignore. Economics made me more aware, a little smarter with my choices, and okay, a little better with my money, but not gonna lie, I'm still working on that. And that's the real win. So yeah, economics isn't just about buying and selling. It's about being aware. Aware of how the world works, how systems connect, how every little choice adds up. Whether it's saving, spending, producing, or just living life. It's all economics. Honestly, I didn't expect to enjoy this subject as much as I did. I came in thinking it would be boring, confusing, full of graphs and definitions I'd never use, but now, I see it everywhere. I feel it every time I shop, plan my budget, or make a decision. And even though I still get tempted to blow my money on random stuff, I pause for a second. I ask myself, is it worth it? What am I giving up if I say yes to this? So to everyone watching, economics isn't just for business majors or future CEOs. It's for all of us. It's about life. And I'm glad I gave it a chance. Economics isn't just about numbers, complicated terms, and graphs. It's about understanding the choices we make every day. Like they say, once you understand how things work, you can make better decisions. Now that I've got this new way of thinking, every day, everything makes more sense. And honestly, I think that's the best part. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. This has been my economics journey. Confusing at first, eye-opening later, and honestly, kind of life-changing. See you next time, hopefully with a better budget and lesser shopping addiction.